says will reduce the typical fee by 75%. Boeing and its largest union opened talks on Friday, seeking the first new contract in 16 years as the U.S. plane maker grapples with its ongoing 737 MAX safety crisis and
Good morning.
by workers.
Oh, I need to do a poll question. No.
Production at Tesla's electric vehicle plant in Germany came to a standstill, and workers were evacuated Tuesday after a power outage that officials suspected was caused by arson. Target is launching a new paid membership that comes with some extra perks, including unlimited same-day delivery. The retailer announced Tuesday it would expand its existing Target Circle program. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Biden takes center stage at the Capitol tonight to deliver his State of the Union address. Correspondent Linda Kenyon has our top story.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says it will be a wide-ranging speech, looking back on the president's accomplishments and looking forward. The president certainly is going to meet the
Which of these historic places would you
lay out is the progress that we've seen in the last 3 years, and not just that. How do we build on that progress? Jean-Pierre says the president also will press the Speaker of the House to put the supplemental foreign aid bill on the floor, saying Ukraine cannot wait any longer. If he cares about our national security and put politics aside, he should do it. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
In vitro fertilizations are expected to resume today in Alabama after Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill into law last night granting immunity from prosecution for doctors who handle embryos for implantation. WKRG's Roseanne Haven from Mobile.
This is in response to the Alabama Supreme Court saying frozen embryos are human beings. That decision leaned on an Alabama constitutional amendment that protects rights of the unborn as well as the state's wrongful death of a minor act.
Researchers at Boston University say they found evidence of
Good morning, everybody that's coming on.
gun instructor who shot and killed 18 people in Maine last year. WQEE TV's Marissa Bodner is in Lewiston.
In her examination, Dr. Ann McKee found degeneration and damage in the nerve fibers that allow for communication between different parts of the brain. Card was an Army reservist and a longtime instructor at a hand grenade training range, where he was exposed to thousands of low-level blasts.
The woman in charge of weapons on Alec Baldwin's movie Rust wakes up in jail in Santa Fe.
Wow.
After
She went to jail, man. So you can't just shoot people because you want to.
Cinematographer Judge Mary Marlowe Summer.
I'm going to remand you, and the reason why I'm going to remand you is you are now convicted. And so, and this is a death.
Hannah Gutierrez Reed faces up to 18 months in prison. From dance videos to thrifting tips.
I always check the returns rack, leave the change room.
The future of TikTok could be hanging by a thread.
Good. We need to get rid of TikTok.
Bill today requiring
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I'm adding a poll question this morning.
The U.S. Tech contributor Ian Scher.
Groups like the American Civil Liberties Union are worried that this could be used to break down protections in the First Amendment meant to stop the government from interfering with free expression.
WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
With SRN News, I'm Tasha Stevens. Nikki Haley is dropping out of the GOP presidential race. She made the announcement Wednesday, did not officially endorse former President Trump. The House passes a $460 billion package of spending bills to keep money flowing to federal agencies throughout the remainder of the budget year. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Republicans have to be realistic about what they can achieve in such a closely divided government.
We're not going to get everything that we want. We want to cut spending. We want to.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I'm getting ready to get the poll question out there for you, so stay with us. We got headline news and much more. It's a True Crime Thursday.
Gives Republicans some wins on spending. Also at SRNnews.com, the Texas cattle industry has suffered a huge loss due to the wildfires in the Panhandle. At least 3,600 cows have died. The number continues to increase. There's a desperate need for hay to replace the grassland torched by the wildfires. Bitcoin hits an all-time high less than 2 years after the collapse of the crypto exchange FTX severely damaged faith in digital currencies and sent prices plunging.
The world's largest cryptocurrency jumped 4% this week.
You guys stay with us. We're getting ready to get started. I got to get one more.
That's according to CoinMarketCap. price is just above Bitcoin's previous record since
Uh-oh.
November 2000.
Seems like it's gonna freeze up on you.
Price for Bitcoin
You gotta
surged
love the
7%
freezing.
Since the approval of
All right, let's see.
ETFs in January.
Gains in recent months have been fueled by the anticipation and eventual U.S. approval of Bitcoin exchange. Target will launch a paid membership program next month, following the footsteps
All right.
of Amazon and Walmart. The program, Circle 360, will launch in early April and cost $99 a year. This is
Sorry, news.
Research shows
We're getting ready to go live, so stay with us. Don't come off. Thank you for liking.
Gender ideology.
A recent Pew Research Center report shows more than 2/3 of teachers, parents, and teenage students do not support the teaching of gender identity or gender fluidity in schools. That's at odds with the position of the nation's largest teachers' unions. Many teachers and parents also believe that the choice to opt out of gender ideology instruction should be available. Liberty Council Chairman Matt Stavers said the data confirms that, quote, this has no place in public education.
All right, let's see. I think I got everything. Start my poll. Hey, good morning, everybody. What's up, DT? What's going on, sir? How you doing this morning? Thank you for being with us. Good morning, UK. Drop it in the house. What's up? What's up?
The legislation would have allowed Virginians with incurable diseases.
I'm messing with the poll question here this morning. It's gonna be a good one, guys. Go and answer our poll question. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? If you've never visited them, some of you may have, some of you may have not. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, which is in Colorado, based on the movie The Shining, was based on that. The Abbeville Horror House, we all know about that one in New York City. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where the Civil War came to a conclusion, or the Winchester Mystery House in California. So let us know which one of those you would like to visit. Which of these historic places? They only can let me get 4. I'm sorry, guys. I would love to put more in there than that, but yeah. I want to visit the Linda Vesta Hospital. Oh, cool. What's up, Nick? Nice to meet you, Nick Curse. It's nice to meet you too. We'll call you Final Boss Skeleton. What's up, Nick? What's up, UK? We got Donald DT89 in the house again. I appreciate you guys being with us. We're getting ready to go live on the radio. Real Radio, 99.1. But, yeah, I decided I'd do a little cool poll question. I'm supposed to have a guest this morning. It's usually True Crime Thursday, and we usually do historic places, but I didn't want to do the typical historic places. I wanted to do the supposedly scary ones.
Interviews, music, trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio whenever you like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood 360 Radio.
And there's a lot more out there than he's messing with Nick is trying to get you to try and say a slur. Thank you, Donald Trump 89. Thank you for looking out for me. Whether you are the real deal or not, you seem to be having fun on here either way. And thank you for looking out for me. Nick, we're just gonna say what Nick's being cool though. He's the final boss. That's what I'm gonna call him. Man, already. Thank you guys for getting into the poll question. The poll question is, which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, Gettysburg, or the Winchester Mystery House? Woo, pretty cool ones. It's the real president. Ask Nikki Haley. Well, that'd be great. You want to be on the show? You want to support the show, DT? That'd make everybody else mad if you were on the show and supporting it. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. We're getting ready to hit.
Right here on WQEE.
You hear music to the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level. I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me.
What is going on, Carson? Do I believe in? Do you believe?
We will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden.
I have guests that believe in it and everything. I have guests that have differences of opinions. Personally, I don't get into that. I'm straight edge, independent skeptic. Like I always tell everybody, the only thing I believe in is the Bible, but I like to present things and support things and speak with people and get their opinions. And if they've said that they've experienced things, I'm not going to say anything that they did not. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. I'm being a politician by doing that, Carson. But at least I'm being honest, right? I'm telling you, I'm trying to be a politician and go around it, try to answer it to make, make everybody feel comfortable. Thank you, DT89, for supporting the show. I really appreciate that, honestly. Let's see. I gotta flip this out, flip this over, do my daily devotion sponsor, do all my stuff I've got. It's True Crime Thursday. We're supposed to have a guest, I think. Usually Sally Toole's with us on the first. She's the author, a tour guide, blogger, traveler, Family Feud champion, and all that good stuff. So she usually tells stories for her travels across the state of Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. And some of those places are historic, meaning scary places too. She had first part of the interview is usually the history. The second part is about what she has experienced there. So that's why the Bo question's in there this morning. It fits with the topic.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
This is Adam Vanelli at the Columbus.
Only DT's with me now, and Carson. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? You know what this means. It is that time once again to bring us live and in living color all over your favorite radio dial and everywhere it needs to be. Oh, yeah. You're in lockdown with yours truly. We're going to dive deeper into it, ladies and gentlemen. And to all the haters, listen up soon, but listen up. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host and most, Ryan O'Neal. And of course, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, Shout It Out Loud, across that RyanORadio media page, iHeartRadio, Amazon Prime, and more. Across Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and Jordan Communication and Family Radio Stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern Sports, inspirational talk, and the headline news. Of course, it's the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You guys are in lockdown. We're going to give you an injection of reality. That's right. And then we'll have some great guests throughout the mornings and everything. But first, to all my haters, I got one little thing to say to you. Get up close to the radio dial and listen to what Triple H has to tell you. Tell him, Triple H. Daggum straight, I am the man around here, Carson. I got a poll question up, and I'm gonna put what Carson said. We got the feed already. People in the feed this morning on the YouTube feed responding. We'll appreciate everybody there. We'll talk to them in just a few, as well as we'll talk to our wonderful people on the Navajo Nation, Sweetleaf, Sue, Tim, Bob, and Rodney K are all with us this morning. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us as well. Carson's on with us this morning. DT89, Donald Trump 89 is on with us. We also have several other people. The final boss, Nick, is in the house with us. We got somebody dropping in from the UK today, and we'll appreciate that. Well, poll questions. This is a True Crime Thursday. We usually do true crime, but we also do a little travel on Thursday. The first Thursday of each month, we travel around the state of Georgia, Alabama, and more with blogger, YouTuber, author, actress, grandmother, cooker, breakfast cooker, wife, and Family Feud champion Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries joins us in the final period. And I put up a pretty cool poll question, and my boy Carson asked me something cool and said something I thought was pretty funny. I got to respond to this. Well, I'll tell you the poll question in just a few. Let me go ahead and drop that in for you. What's up, Pete? How you doing this morning? Pete says, good morning to Ryan and the Navajo Nation. Good morning, Navajo Nation. And we'll get a response from them shortly. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, or Winchester Mystery House. Now, I tell you what, according to Carson, he asked me if I believed. I was like, well, I allow people to have their difference of beliefs and everything. That's the whole point. Like DT89 says in here, this is freedom of speech in here. Now, I do like what he said. He said, I just imagine that these ghosts can see, let's see. I just imagine these ghosts, can see, can't wear clothes. That these ghosts, you can see that they can see, can't wear clothes. Okay, there you go. I just imagine these ghosts they can see, can't wear clothes. I'm going to laugh at you. I think it's funny. Now, I'm not like I said, I'm a straight edge independent skeptic. So, I allow people to have their differences of thought and everything. I try to bring the news, the real news to everybody, and then we have fun as well. So, but Carson, that was pretty good. I give you credit on that one, my friend. Thank you for joining us this morning. Like, subscribe, and be a part of this show. Pete says he'd love to visit 2 of those places. So which of the 2 would you like to visit? Drop it in there, Pete, and let me know, my brother. Which of these historic places would you guys like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, which is in Colorado. Of course, Stephen King based his book, The Shining, on that particular hotel, which is now owned by Jason and Grant, formerly of one of them's formerly of the Ghost Hunters. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the Abbeville Horror House, which is in New York, and we just talked about somebody being murdered there in recently. Winchester Mystery House in California, and Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Pete says he wants to visit Gettysburg and Abbeville Horror House. I tell you what, I have only been to one of those 3. Which one do you guys think I've been to? Tell me which one you think I've been to. It was based upon a war. There's your hint. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds, says DT89. It was Gettysburg. I was there as a teenager years ago when my parents took us there to visit family on the outskirts. So yes, you're right. Gettysburg, Donald Trump 89. Thank you very much. Sweetly says, good morning, Pete. Sue says, is that really? Never mind. I was like, he says he is, so I'm not sure, but he says he is. So I'm not going to question anybody's on the, internet, because everything on the internet's real, right? All the clickbait news stories about the lizard people and everything are real. So why can't it be the real DT? So you've been to Gettysburg and Winchester. Wow. Gettysburg is fun. I noticed a lot of unique things there, and stayed on the campsite. And I think that they had the campsite was right off of where the battlefield was, where the historic battlefield is. And in the historic battlefield, I think they have quote at the time, and probably today even better. At the time, they probably had where you could set out. What was that? Oh, feedback. Don't get feedback. Oh, there you go. There you go. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's feedback. Anyway, I think they set up a system where you could hear the war going on. They were at night, they would play over a sound system like the war was fighting out there. So during the Civil War, a family died in the battle. Wow, Pete. Wow. So those are the ones we want to get you guys in. I don't know what is going on with my microphone. It's acting up. No, it's not now. I don't know. All right, 21 minutes past the hour. We got coming up true crime stories for you this morning. We're going to talk about a Nashville woman's body that was found. We'll get into that this morning in period number 2. Plus, we'll have some more true crime news you can use. So stay with us. And we should have Sally Toole join us in the final period. And she is going to talk a little bit about histories and mysteries. You can follow her channel on the YouTube page as well. And we're at 99.1 FM WQEE The Key on your radio dial in the Atlanta metro Atlanta areas and all over our different feeds. All right, let's jump into it. Traffic right quick. I just want to jump this in here. Traffic brought to you by Killingsworth Realty. Killingsworth Realty with a road report. What's up, everybody? Oh, my brother, what's up? God from heaven. Hello, Radio Man. I've been to Winchester's Mystery House. It was cool. Lots of lost soul. Oh, wow. There you go. Sounded like you were in the background there. Sorry about that, guys. When you hit some of the microphones in here, it sounds like a big echo. All right, let's jump into it. No echoes on my end, because if it is, then that means it's time to throw the microphone out. I'm just kidding. What's up, God from heaven? Well, I'm going to respond to you, and momentarily, let me go ahead and get the road report out of the way for these people, and then I'll respond and let everybody know what you got going on. So as well as you, Pete. You guys keep getting in the feed and keep responding. Cobb County, there's a crash at I-20 near the Riverside on the short shoulder. A brief slowdown until another 10 or 15 minutes. Also, in Cobb County, there's an injury crash near Cedar Grove Road. That's up to 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Heading on down here to Douglas County, there's a box truck rollover. Chapel Hill Road is where that is at, right off of north of Rosemont Drive. In that lane, it's cleared up about 7:30 this morning. Construction going on in Cobb County. Long-term railroad repair. God, we hate that. Turner Hill Road is shut down off of Covenant Highway. Traffic's being sent elsewhere, and that is going to be a long-term thing. Also, what's up, True Freeman? How you doing? I appreciate you back as well. Let's jump into it. Down Bullsboro looking girl, good, as well as Lower Fayetteville Road, Popular Road, and Temple Avenue. In front of the station, Jackson Street looking good. Heading down Interstate 85, Hogansville and Grantville all picking up, but looking good. LaGrange is all good as well on Commerce Avenue, as well as New Franklin Road. You head on down Interstate to West Point, Georgia. Get off of the West Point exit. Construction still going on there. And exit 79 in Alabama, construction going on. That's a look at what's going on. And Holly is heading to Carrollton to teach today. Go, Holly! There you go. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a clear path to Carrollton this morning, just to let you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on with traffic. Traffic brought to you by Killingsworth Realty. Killingsworth Realty, the Killingsworth Realty Road Report. All right, let me get back here some responses. God from heaven says, hello, Radio Man. Good morning, my friend out in Cali, because Winchester Mystery House is there. He said it was cool. Thinks lots of lost souls are there. True Freeman, what's up? Hey, I'm caller number 9 to win the 2-week trip to Hawaii. Oh, wow. Oh, Calhoun. I'm not Carrollton. Calhoun, Georgia. That's right. Sorry about that. I misread it, Pete. And Holly's hidden there. And Pete said he had family on both sides of the Civil War. Sad situation there. So there you go. All right, 25 minutes past the hour. Our poll question this morning is, which of these historic places would you like to visit, ladies and gentlemen? Which of them? And the Stanley Hotel, which is in Colorado, where Stephen King based his book, The Shining, on, and later on, the Jack Nicklaus movie, The Shining. Red rum, whatever. Anyway, you know, Jackie's here. Anyway. True Freeman must be in Georgia too. The Abbeville Horror House is another one. Gettysburg and Winchester Mystery House. And right now, this is the way it is. 18% of you say you want to visit the Stanley Hotel. 27% say they want to go visit the Abbeville Horror House. 18% of you said Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to visit the Ghost of Both Sides. And the Winchester Mystery House has got 36% of you. Out in California, knows party. True Freeman says, shout out to Cobb County. And Chandler Road, Zone 6, Zone 4, and Zone 3. Woo, what's up? That's what True Freeman's saying. All right, there you go. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being with us. We're going to take a break here, come back and do some headline news, as we thought that was going to be headline news time. We got all the headline news we could out of the way, right? Yeah. Well, we got more going the way. It's our daily devotion brought to you by Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue, here in the Metro Atlanta area, Noonan. Every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. services inside. Outside services under 10, 9:30 and 9 and 10:30. And inside services at 6:30 p.m. for the hip cool kids, which I'm not a hip cool kid. I go to the morning services. But the hip cool kids out there, I'm trying to dress like them. I don't know. Here's what's going on. Today's daily devotion from Noonan City Church. Pastor Jimmy Ellison and crew invite you out, transforming lives for Jesus' sake. Jesus Listens from Sarah Young is what we're reading from this morning. She is bringing together 1 John 1:5, Psalms 18:30, 1 Corinthians 7:17, and Psalm 63:5. She says, Lord Jesus, I'm trying to trust in you. Whether your intentions are good for me, but it's just radically different when I'm wanting something totally different, my hopes and my expectations. But you know what's better for me. There you go. You are the light, and you are there in no darkness at all. I will look for your light in all my circumstances, for you are an abundant presence in the moment of my life. I want to be open to you and all your ways with me. Sometimes this requires just forgetting my plans and my dreams or whatever. You are a shield for all who take refuge in you. Why am I feeling disappointed and afraid? Draw closer to me, draw closer to me. You don't shield me from absolute everything, but you shield me from those trials and tribulations. Please help me lead the life you have assigned to me in a joyful, dependent way. Then my soul will be sanctified as with the riches of food. With the singing of my lips will praise you. In your supreme name, amen. Wow. There you go. Thank you, True Freeman. He says, WQEE is the greatest radio station on the planet. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Now that we got all these people in Georgia and Alabama that are coming on and staying with us in the Metro Atlanta area, all of you people out there that are in the East Alabama, West Georgia area, we got the listeners. So you want them to come support your business? You need to call me at 770-347-9947. Because you know what? People will come visit your business in your neck of the woods if you sponsor a show that they listen to and a radio station they listen to. And you know what? We're live all day too, guys. No AI here. No artificial intelligence. I have a lot of real intelligence from 10 a.m. to all the way 7 a.m. And then from 7 to 10, I'm on, so I don't really put the real intelligence in the intelligence. We got RI here, no AI. And me, I'm just kind of, real. The I is out of my ball. I like to joke, mess with myself. All right, guys, stay tuned. More on the way as RyanORadio Penitentiary cruises on. You're tuned in to RyanORadio Penitentiary right here. You're in lockdown with us. We'll put you in the penalty box. And when we return from this break, it should be a short one, we're going to dive into some of the headline news for you this morning. And when we do that, we'll get you what's going on in the headline news. Plus, we got True Crime Thursday news for you. So we'll dive into some of that and get you our daily devotion I mean, our dumb Crook news. Sorry, God, I was not doing daily devotional. Our dumb Crook news. Dumb. We got a dumb Crook for you this morning. All that's coming up on this true crime edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. And we should have Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries join us. One more time as we get ready to take a break. I've got a poll up on the YouTube page for you. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, Winchester Mystery House, or Gettysburg, Pennsylvania? Let me know in the feed there. Of course, take the poll and everybody like, subscribe, and share. True Crime Thursday with True Freeman. There you go, brother. We appreciate you being with us. Back in a moment. And of course, the one cool kid, good morning to you as well. I know you're around there somewhere. I got to say good morning to you, my friend. Back in a moment. Think all of them. Think about all of them. There you go, Pete. Back in a moment. All right, we'll drop all of these off here. Get you the news and go on about my business. Like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we had a big whole bunch of people on the poll yesterday. From Dabu. From where? Oh, enjoying your show. Thank you. Dubai. Good morning, Dubai. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Keep going up on them poll questions. I love the poll questions. I've had more fun with the poll questions than anything else since I started doing it on the show. Coming up with something different every day. Everybody else does poll questions that has to feature in on just what they do. My show is a variety show, so I can talk about anything from sports to cool stuff to everything. True crime and everything. I tiptoe like the Pink Panther. Dun, dun, dun. Like the Pink Panther. There you go. Dubai is another place I would like to visit, says Pete. I know, right? A lot of great places out there in the world. Oh, I guess I better get rid of that because I don't need that. And I don't need that this morning. It's Thursday morning. We don't do the Dirty Bird news on Thursday. We're getting ready to come back. Let's see. All right, we'll do that shortly. You hear Holly. That's right. That was her. Beginning today, guys, we got a fair in LaGrange. If it stays like this all day, it's going to be a great day to start it.
Presented by LaGrange College, Jordan Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement, March 7th through the 17th, LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
I want to go to Hawaii and learn some mysteries. There you go. I've been around the country. There's a lot of cool stuff that people actually take advantage in their communities to do so that they can get people to come in and, you know, tourist attractions and stuff. And Georgia, we should be like the biggest place, those that live in Georgia. And more than just The Walking Dead here, there's all kinds of stuff. That's why when History and Mysteries and Sally Toole comes on, there you go. I support family, Holly and Rhino. There you go. It's all family, brother. Told Holly that yesterday, how great you were a supporter of hers. I said, he's the biggest supporter out there of everybody that he loves and respects. Or he loves and respects. All right, let's go. Once again, Pete says hello back to you there, Sweetly. Sweetly said hello to you. Good thing. From Dubai, we got somebody from Dubai this morning tuning in and saying they're enjoying my show. Thank you very much. RyanORadio, Penitentiary live on 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key. All over our feeds. We are on the YouTube feed. We are on the Facebook. We are on streaming on all over our stream sites. We are streaming on iHeart, Amazon Prime, as well as Spreaker. We're on the Shoutcast, 50,000 plus of you there worldwide. And we are on the Navajo Nation this morning, all over the British Columbia Isles. Good morning, says Alice from Canada. Dave and Michael from Canada say good morning. Good morning to Helen and Vicky up in Canada as well. Listening through our feed. We got a feed they set up. I don't know where she got it. Maybe she got it off of our Shoutcast so that we could see them and I could see where I can actually see them and talk to them. But hey, yeah, that's what they said. They got it off our feed. But they are so that and set up a feed for us in Canada for their friends to listen. So yeah, there may be only about 6, 7, 8 of them listening. Mike says more than that, but yes, it's for our friends and family. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's cool. That's cool that they set that up for me. I didn't even have to set it up. How cool is that, guys? Wow. Now, I got to get back and get some things taken care of. News-wise. All right, let's do some headline news for you from Israel. As always, let's drop this in. The Prime Minister is holding discussions and a preparation for the month of coming up this month of Ramadan with ministers and leaders and officials. Israel plans, as always, to police these areas so that people will be able to have freedom of worship. So the Muslim community can worship in public without any kind of harassment or anything to that sort. So I think it's great that he is supporting other religious beliefs beyond what they believe as well. So especially during this time with what's going on in Israel and Hamas and the wars there and everything. Hopefully we can get a ceasefire underway and things can just start peacefully slowing down in Israel. All right, let's jump into some other headline news this morning. Matt Gaetz files election interference complaint against special counsel Jack Smith. They just keep on this fighting amongst each other so that they can sit there and have you guys fight each other and hate each other while I'm this and I'm on this side and I'm on that side. I'm so tired. Why don't they do something? Why don't they do something for the country? Why don't they lower the a ceasefire? There you go, True Freeman. Why don't they lower prices? Why don't they have the economy come back down? Why don't they come up with a way of raising people's pays and different things to that sort, giving more money to the small businesses instead of fighting over a damn election? We're almost to the next election. Who cares about the last one? I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm really sick of it. I'm sick of the 24/7. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. We got more worries to worry about than the same 10 things that they were all fighting each other over 20 years ago. I'm going to run as a Republican for gun rights and for abortions. I'm going to run as a Democratic against abortions or for abortions and against gun rights. 20 years later, that's all they want to talk about. We got inflation. No, it's not a Democrat and Republican thing. It's the way it is. Taxes for the rich. Who cares? Who cares? That's been the same thing. It's been going over and over and over. House the homeless. Make housing affordable for more people. Exactly. That's more important, True Freeman, than worrying about some election complaint. They can fight about all that all day. And if they want to get up there and talk about the UFO thing too. That's all. I don't care what is, but the other stuff that's more important for us is what we're looking at. I'm not worried about that. I mean, Gates can be all mad about it. Of course, he just went to the prom last week. I mean, but still, Gates, they can argue about it all day, but that shouldn't be the main thing that we hear in the news all the time. When we need housing, we need affordable housing, we need better jobs, we need this, and it can happen. I could tell you 10 billionaires right now, if they put their money in our society, and everyone, well, they don't really have that money. I'm not saying that they physically got $1 billion in the bank. Okay? Well, no. But they got assets. They got the ability to do it. A bank is not going to tell Elon Musk, oh, you can't borrow money to start up a business. Not Elon Musk. Not Elon Musk. Come on. Maybe me, maybe you. They'll be like, well, we got to look into that for you guys. But Elon Musk walk into a bank, yes, sir, what do you want? I mean, so there you go. Well, I'm putting it in business. These billionaires could all do that. And then we wouldn't have lazy people out there, as they would call lazy people. We would have people on the streets. We'd have jobs for everybody. We'd have homes for everybody. Come on. We got plenty of land. No one should be homeless. Amen, brother. We got plenty of land. And that's Native American land. My brother's over there in Native American land. Sweetie's like, you always get it right, Ryan. Sue says, thank you, Brother Ryan. Bob says, good morning, Ryan, and I'm listening to you, and you tell it like it is. They don't want to hear it, though, brothers and sisters on the Navajo Nation. But you're right. We do have plenty of land. I agree with True Friedman on that, too. He says, yeah, you do have plenty of land. And no one should be homeless. That's what Tim says. There you go. See, everybody's agreeing. But the problem is the money, people can put money back in society and keep things going. And small businesses could get extra loans and stuff to be able to hire people, to be able to pay them a better living, because they don't want that. Somebody sits around going, some small business don't want to pay. BS. Wrong. They want to pay people. Heck, I know the coffee shop over here pays people really, really well. Really well. Okay. And and she doesn't add the price onto her coffee. I mean, of course, she's got fancy coffees and stuff. Come on. But I'm just saying that I get a regular cup of coffee there. It don't cost that much. So what I'm preaching at is, if business owners can do that, other business owners can be given the same opportunity so they can do that. I love seeing people get on here and argue like local business owners don't want to hire people for a decent price. BS. Yeah, they do. It's just that nobody's thinking about them. The government would rather fight about an election interference than give money to the local businessman who's like, all right, I want to hire 12 people. I don't want to pay them all $15 an hour. And I still want to go home and live in my nice big house that I deserve to live in. Oh, man. I'm getting them on my side now, everybody. Everybody's on my side now. Like, yeah, Ryan, go get them. You're right. And the reason I know this, I know plenty of local business owners. I know what they want to do. And I know plenty of them in my area that actually play very well. So anybody's like, oh, they don't want to. BS. I deal with all kind of business owners every day. I know. So forget the new mainstream media news lying to you. Just try to. All right, other news, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia Senate takes up Fani Willis's conflict of interest in the Donald Trump case. If they want to keep people, they need to pay well. That's right, Pete. Wicked Turner star Charlie Griffin dies. Wicked Tuna star. During a time. All right, let's see. Is this going to freeze up on me? During a boat trip in the Outer Banks. So there you go. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, the Alabama Republican Governor Kay Ivey signed legislation Wednesday night to protect providers of the virtual fertilization from civil and criminal law liability after the state Supreme Court ruled last month, and the frozen embryos are children. The Republican governor swiftly signed Bill 159 after it was overwhelmingly passed Wednesday in the state house 81-10, with 12 abstaining from the vote and 29-1 in the state Senate. So the overwhelming time to keep people who are doing that, that's been doing that, from being sued for liable civil and criminal lawsuits. Wow. But I'm glad that they're doing things like that. And I understand where one side is saying what they're saying and the other side. I'm not picking a side on either side on this, because right now this is what really has been the focus of the last 20 years while we're sitting down here trying to figure out how to live paycheck to paycheck, and everybody, you should go do so-and-so. You should quit that job and get a different job. Why? Why should people quit their jobs that they're good at and go work somewhere else for a job that they're not good at, that they'll end up getting fired in 6 months from? And then you go, that person didn't want to work. No, that person just didn't know that job. I mean, I believe restaurants should pay more, and most of my area do. I believe that if you're going to work in one of these factories, I believe there should be time off for family. So I believe you should make $30 an hour so that you don't have to work more than 8 hours a day. Oh my gosh, that's terrible, Ryan. Why? Have you ever worked in a mill, a factory? It should be no more than 8 hours. Heck, it should be no more than 5 hours. And you should get paid 12 hours for an 8-hour shift or 12 hours for a 6-hour shift. If you've never worked in a factory, you don't know. Work needs to pay me more. I know that's right, Pete. But I'm just saying that there needs to be time for people in these different jobs, and we shouldn't say, well, this job is better than that job. There's a lot of fantasy jobs out there that are fantastic that people want, and some people get into those jobs. Some people make a lot of money, but we should not say this person over here just trying to take care of their family shouldn't get paid any more than what, well, go get a better job. This ain't 1968 anymore. Stop taking all your Oxycontins and drinking your alcoholic wine and at 70-something years old and saying, it's not like it used to be. No blank, Sherlock, it's not like it used to be. You're still fighting the same fight you fought back in 1968 with abortions and gun rights that should not be the top thing that our politicians should be talking about in 2024. It should be inflation. It should be jobs. It should be money. It should be the rich. You know, I had to give them tax cuts. And I'm all about giving the billionaires tax cuts. But if we take 10 or 15 billionaires, which I know there's 10 right now, if you take these 10 billionaires and let them put jobs and businesses and all kind of things back into communities across the United States, do you know what? There'd be less taxes for them to have to pay. Well, they'll be paying taxes on everything, but we'll cut it down to, since they're providing businesses. Other people have jobs, and people that get paid now get paid more. Simple, right? It seems like it's a simple idea, right? Oh, we can't have simple ideas, man. We got to keep people poor so that this historic politician over here will say, hey, all these people hate you, and I'm the only one that loves you. And so that pull yourself up by the bootstraps is a saying. You can do that when a giant 2-liter Coca-Cola was only $1.50. You can do that when you were getting Hershey bars for 5 cents. I mean, yeah, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But hey, today, come on. Stop sending jobs overseas. They get it cheaper. You're right. Stop sending them overseas. But you know what? These billionaires can put jobs in this country. They've got the money to do so. We don't. We want to sit here and go, well, this guy's going to bring. No. None of these people are going to bring jobs. The thing about it is, one side will tell you, we're going to try to bring jobs in. And then what they do is they give a crappy little job in for a few little people. And then the other side, you got the labor issues, and everybody's like, I don't like labor unions. Why? those people in labor unions are making $40 to $50 an hour. Yeah, but that's why cars and trucks cost so much. Well, you don't have to have a new truck every year. Why do you want to try to have a new truck every year? Or a vehicle or whatever. You don't. If you got the money to do it, go for it. I'm not saying don't go for it if you don't have the money. I'm saying that, why you got to have something? Tell me. The thing about it is somebody shouldn't work in a job where they cut their hands and tear up and they spend 12 hours a day doing something and they don't have time to be with their friends and family and they have to work extra. They have to work 6 days a week just to make ends meet. Come on. I don't like labor. I don't like unions. I don't like unions because I have to pay more for a truck out here. Well, if you go to Carvana, you're getting a deal and you're not, the overhead is out here because the business owners out here that have to sell the cars like candy bars have to put a little extra on it so their company can make money and their people can make money. That's the only reason. I just go back to thinking that if we had better jobs, if the billionaires would put back money in the country, I think it would be better for us. But, I'm probably just one of those dreamers that think that if we did this, that a small portion of our problems would be gone. Now, I'm not saying that our world would be perfect now if the billionaires would pay for everything and our world would be perfect and we had jobs and everybody wouldn't be off there. We would still have some homeless people. We'd still have people wouldn't be able to work. We still have people that wouldn't work. We still have a little, but it'd be less of concern for most people. People wouldn't going, I'm out here working hard and I'm barely making it. Now you'd be out there working hard going, man, look, I got 2 brand new cars now. Thank you, Elon, for putting those businesses in every single state and giving me a job. I know one job that's going to be around even when AI starts taking over. It's going to be welders. Robots cannot weld very well, so at least welders will have jobs. The rest of you, especially people calling on the phone, trying to sell those phones to people or cable, AI is going to take over that pretty soon. Back in a moment. Oh, that's a whole different story. Back in a moment. Yes.
18,000 workers at Bethlehem Steel's Lackawanna Mill in Buffalo, New York, walked out on strike. The Steel Workers Organizing Committee, or SWOC, had been fighting to organize Little Steel for years. Little Steel was a general term that referred to the smaller mills like Republic, Inland, Bethlehem, and Youngstown Sheet and Tube. At Bethlehem, SWOC was still waiting for a decision from the U.S. Court of Appeals about the company union Bethlehem refused to give up in defiance of the Wagner Act. As a defense industry, Bethlehem had $1.5 billion worth of armament orders to fill, and yet they wouldn't even pay the legal minimum wage mandated for government contracts. Retired steelworker Mitchell Schaefer recalled in a 1991 interview, I went to work there in the late 30s, swinging a 20-pound sledgehammer to break iron filings. The 81-year-old continued by saying, I got 40 cents an hour, 6 days a week, no vacation. The last straw came when Bethlehem.
Good morning. Keep coming on, guys. Poll question. We got to get one of my favorite poll questions right now. See what we got. Hopefully Sally Toole will join us this morning. Oh, yeah. I had to do this. They don't like it when, some people don't like it, guys, when you have to tell them the truth. They don't listen. So true. Oh, well, on welders. The robots here mess up. See? I knew it. But, I'll be glad when they take over all these phone calls that they call in. These people call you for, hey, we want to get you insurance. We want to do this one. If you got how you would say it, an AI calling you? Oh, man, it's so much better. I'd rather deal with an AI than anybody. on the cable company.
Best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to
An AI salesperson would not be irritated.
right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone fried chicken.
It's like, well, what? That means people lose their jobs. No, I don't think people lose their jobs. They should just get paid to sit there. You know, at one of these call centers, everybody's just paid to sit there while the AI is doing all the work, and all they can do is, oh, lunch break time. That's lazy, Ryan. Well, you know, if we're going to let AI take over, we still need to make money. If they can do the job and you get paid for it, that's great. It's kind of like me. I used to do the job. I do the job and everybody else gets paid for it. I'm used to being AI. Wow.
755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon. I am Apostle Deborah Harris.
Oh, we got some good news. Good messed up news stories. True crime. All right, we're closing out this period. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. We're almost done.
Advancing the kingdom of God in this hour. Join us each Tuesday
Woo-hoo!
at 10 o'clock a.m. with guests who are sharing their faith, business, and ministry.
You got that right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, still to come, we're getting to our true crime news, kicking into period number 2. Since it is True Crime Thursday, we got a lot of news from Georgia, Alabama, all over the states to New York, to disgruntled former employees and customers and all kind of things, plus our daily demos of the day. We'll get into all that this morning. iRobot, they were working on so people can live happy until they try to take over. I know, right? Well, we don't make them smart enough to take over. We just make them where they can work. Except for in the welding world, because that's just not going to work. They can take care of all the factory car work and everything. And some human can walk in and say, okay, that looks good. All right, going back to break room. My union says all I got to do is once an hour come out and look at the cars and then go back into the break room. How does everybody like that idea, guys? You like that idea, don't you? Let Ryan run for president. He's going to take the AI, make the companies use it, but still force them to pay us $15 an hour. Or if his factory's $30 or $40 an hour, and our unions are going to say that we'll come out and look once an hour. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty looking car. That's got gold on it. Okay, I got to go back to my break room. Daggum, Ryan. You trying to make sure everybody gets paid? I know, right? Why would I want everybody in the world to make money? Oh my goodness, it should be only me, right? I should want to take this show and be the world's most famous rich liar like Joe Rogan. He was already rich before he started lying. It's called acting. Oh, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people get mad at me when I go off on Joe Rogan. I'm like, I don't care. He's not good. I got kids in Australia that are in their 20s and stuff, and college kids going, hey, you're better than Rogan. So, I mean, if the young people think I'm better, I'm just going to stay with them. They're the ones that are going to make my future. And when I won't be in a nursing home like some of you. They're like, you remember that old guy on the radio? Well, we're going to make sure he's got his own little house when he retires. Let him sit on his little house, build him a little studio so he can play radio. He's lost his mind. He still thinks he's in radio. That's all right. We like him. Remember how he used to take up for us back in the day? Yeah. Some of you old folks don't know how to be good. some of you Generation Xers and olders don't know how to be good to the next generation. It's my opinion and my opinion only. It's like, look, you can disagree with the next generation all day long, but they're going to be the ones that take care of you. You really want to cuss them out today and be stuck in the nursing home tomorrow? Come on. All my young folks are laughing. They're not even responding on the YouTube right now. They're like, he's right. He's right. I'm putting my parents in the nursing home. I'm out here working 2 jobs and they're telling me things and they're forgetting. They're right. I'm putting them in the nursing home. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We're getting into period number 2 with some true crime news next.
WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, Newton, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Kastner. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey is signing a bill to protect in vitro fertilization.
Oh, yeah, that's right news.
Ivey signed the measure shortly after.
So say that I put the right news in.
Wednesday.
When I was 12 days, that extension SB 159 has passed.
The Republican governor said that while IVF is complex, she is confident that this legislation will provide the assurances our IVF clinics need. The new law protects providers from lawsuits and criminal prosecutions for the damage or death of an embryo during IVF services. It does not, however, address the question of whether an embryo created by IVF should be treated as a child under state law.
Okay.
President Donald Trump is inviting Nikki Haley supporters to join his campaign for the White House. Trump posted on Truth Social Wednesday as the former South Carolina governor was announcing that she was dropping out of the race.
I am filled with the gratitude for the outpouring of support we've received from all across our great country. But the time has now come to suspend my campaign.
The former president said much of Haley's campaign money came from radical left Democrats as well as her voter base, even though Haley dropped out. Trump said he hopes she stays in the race and fights it out until the end. Haley wished Trump well in her speech, but she didn't officially endorse him. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the Republican Party is unified behind Trump. Mark Mayfield with more.
Speaking after Nikki Haley dropped out of the GOP presidential race, Johnson said the House is ready to work with Trump in 2024. He added Trump was met with resistance from federal agencies in his first term, but now he's set to continue cutting federal red tape and to grow the economy.
Stock futures are ticking lower after the major averages clawed back some of this week's losses. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
I'm pretty handy around the house.
Nope.
If I had kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. Thankfully, there's
Oh, be on with me, folks.
Kaiser helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Sorry, guys. We got 1,500 things to do. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you, but
Life insurance, look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to meet your goals. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sales agent.
I'm Ronald from Carolina Force. Carolina Force is Newton's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.carolinaforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
all right, we're getting ready to go back on.
Right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Carnival time is finally here. LaGrange Spring Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more. Across from the Cowboy Football Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. Presented by LaGrange College, Jordan Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement, March 7th through the 17th. LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
Hey sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of the Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show. Every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons, the Braves, and more. And who knows, you might even hear you. That's the Rod Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to come back. Share, like, and subscribe. Keep everybody on.
Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show. Back McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country. Back McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM. Hi, this is Art Soriano, asking you to tune into Let Go and Let God every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE. We help those who are struggling with their faith or have doubts through discussion, inspirational stories, and contemporary Christian music. So tune in to Let Go and Let God Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
All right, we're going to do it once more. And this time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you. When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright. But now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight. So say good morning. Good morning. Stop it. Stop it. Good morning. Good morning to you. It would be grander than to be in Louisiana in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were still going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good. Hello, morning, noon, or night, wherever you're tuning in to. We're all over the worldwide radio, world wide web, and everywhere you need to be. You're in lockdown in your favorite penitentiary. Coming to this hour, true crime stories and some dumb crook news. It's all coming up for this true crime edition. Who am I? I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary host, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, and of course, yeah, you know I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, shout it out loud, across the RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, the Navajo Nation, real radio and internet there. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. And finally, the Jordan Communication of Family radio stations, 99.1 FM, the key WQEE, where people should be listening. If not, well, you know what? At least the people that are listening are smart enough to listen to me instead of listening to everybody else. I am the only educated audience in the world. We appreciate you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't see you again, good evening. We welcome you in to the final second period of play. And to all my haters, I got one thing to say to you. Listen up to this, haters. I am the man around here, ladies and gentlemen, the man that told you what's happening, told you what's going on, associated with people that a lot of people wouldn't associate with. Been in this business for 20-something years. That's why we're in radio broadcasting, real radio for real people. This hour, we're going to talk about some true crime stuff. We should have Sally Toole will be our guest in period number 3. We'll talk histories and mysteries, Sally Toole. We'll get into some travel with her in the state of Georgia and Alabama and Florida and Tennessee in the next hour. So we'll see where she's headed off to. Also this hour, we'll give you a couple of updates and some news stories, including some true crime news stories. It's about 10 minutes past the hour. We are now holding about, I'd say 50 something degrees, 55 degrees is what it's saying. Might be a little higher, might be a little lower, but the temp I got here is saying 55. That's a look at what's going on with your time and temperature, brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Yeah, summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Michael the Crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. I tell you what, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand there's a lot of crazy people out there. It always has been. It's just that we got more opportunities to see it on social media than we ever did before. So when I get into these true crime stories, I'm just previewing this to let you know that stuff like this has happened over the years. It's just that the only good thing about social media today is, other than being in contact with family, is crimes are being solved easier. And I love it because people actually put things on there and are stupid enough to put things on there. And we're going to talk about some of that throughout the morning. So maybe AI can help us find what's going on. AI, are you here with us this morning? I am here. You're going to play Unsolved. You're going to play Homicide Hunter with us this morning? I am the Homicide Hunter. Thank you, Ryan. AI has took over the world, and now we own. I got to reboot him. Sorry. All right, there you go. AI is going to help us out this morning, this hour. Because, it's the way it is. Which of these historic places, I got a poll question up on my YouTube page. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel in Colorado, where Stephen King based his book The Shining on, which later on starred Jack Nicklaus in a movie adaptation of that same book. He's like, Jack's it, Daddy's home. Yeah, red rum. That's the Stanley Hotel. The Abbeville Horror House, which had produced not only books about a family that was haunted by a home in New York City, but also movies, including Ryan Reynolds did a movie version of it a few years back. Winchester Mystery House out in California, where the widow of the famed gun maker kept building onto her house over and over because she felt like spirits of the dead were in there. Or finally, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the site of the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. And I visited there as well. Pete says, I am Sweetly says, robot. I robot. Bob says, man, I love your new AI partner, bro. Yeah, maybe I'll bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? AI controlling everything, and I can just retire and, live on the streets or something. While people are like, I don't know why my advertising on the AI stations is not doing well. All right, I'll give you the percentage of that. Gail says, I picked Winchester House. Ooh! And you know what? Here is the look at what's going on so far with our historic places. The Stanley Hotel and Gettysburg are both tied at 14%. The Abbeville Horror House is at 36%, and so is the Winchester Mystery House, 36%. And since I have not been to 3 of those places, I've been to Gettysburg, 3 of those places could be on my list, but I think I would like to visit the Stanley Hotel and the Winchester Mystery House is my top 2. The horror house, the Abbeville Horror House, to me is just like, I've seen so much on it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm feeling like it was based upon some people just couldn't afford to pay for all the George and his wife couldn't afford the house. Then I think they made up things because the house was originally owned by, members of the mob, a mob family. And some son killed his father there. Hey, Pete, didn't see you, says Gail. Now she sees him. But, a lot of people want to go to that one. That's cool. It's between us. The 2 ties for me is Stanley Hotel and Winchester Mystery House. I've been to Gettysburg, the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. I've been to there. So I don't really need to go back there. Yeah, we missed Gail yesterday, but thank you, Gail, for going back and rewatching my show and everything. Guys, wow. Wow. And Randy did a great job, didn't he, yesterday? 15 minutes past the hour. You're tuned in RyanORadio Penitentiary. We got a few headline news stories we're going to drop into, and it has to do with true crime. So there you go. But yeah, which of these historic places would you like to visit? The Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, Gettysburg, or the Winchester Mystery House? You guys let us know in the poll. Let's go ahead and kick it into some news for you. 5 people have died after a small plane crash near an interstate in Tennessee. It happened Monday night. The crash happened on the eastbound lanes of I-40. No details of the victims have been released as of yet due to the family having to be contacted. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Also, in other sports news this morning, the Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans agreed to another 2-year extension on his contract. He's going to keep his time in Tampa Bay because he's doing pretty well with them. The NFL star receiver has a new contract with the NFL franchise, and we'll see how well that goes. The Phillies have signed ace pitcher Zach Wheeler to a 3-year extension at $126 million. What? I'd like to get $126 million, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for saying a great show yesterday. I appreciate that. We try to have a good show every day, but a great show is always fantastic. Thank you for supporting the show. Also, Internal Miami sporting director Chris Henderson cited that a desire for more flexibility in the building is time to improve their roster right around Lionel Messi, as Lionel Messi, the world's most famous soccer player, is playing in Miami. And of course, they're bringing in a few other ones, and they're officially trading for DeAndre Yedlin. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman, ECW founder, better known as Paulie Dangerously in WCW, Paul Heyman in WWE, ECW leader Paul Heyman has been elected and selected for the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Paul Heyman. My name is Paul Heyman. Congratulations to Heyman for being elected into the Hall of Fame. And some true crime news mixed in with a little bit of Vince McMahon. I'm starting to see Vince McMahon was evil. Everybody who worked for him lost everything. Hard for me to watch wrestling after watching the dark sides of the ring and everything. Well, Vince McMahon is cashing in his TKO stock in recent months with the latest transaction happening last week. Oh yeah, the man's accused of some evil deeds is getting his money. I like half that money, says Pete. We talking about with the Phillies guy? I know, right? Vince McMahon is getting $412 million, and he's still owed about $15 million with 9% of TKO stock. The man is just getting all kind of money. Money. Hey, Pete, thank you. My heart issues, fast heart was overly active, and when I fell asleep, not heard shows notice. No problem. We know that you have that, you and the zoo crew and everything. And we appreciate you being with us this morning, Gail. Just a good thing that everybody was missing you yesterday. That's a good thing. As we grow more and more on these different feeds, the OGs are going to be remembered. Well, what? Dynamite? Let's see what happened on Dynamite last night. They keep bringing in wrestlers from AEW, planning the Young Bucks and Inoki segment for months. And Inoki, I guess he's part of whatever happened on AEW Dynamite. Kenny Omega fired and Inoki signs with AEW. What? How has Kenny Omega been fired? It must be a what you call a gimmick. Let me do some news here in the world of professional wrestling. Swerve Strickland come out and he felt the people really cheered for him and wanted him to win the AEW Championship at Revolution. He came for Samoa Joe, whether he holds the championship or not. Samoa Joe come out and told Strickland, your house exists in my world. Strickland told Joe, you haven't beat me, so why don't you put the title up right now? The Undisputed King will come out. Adam Cole told Samoa Joe that the only reason why you're the world champion is because we let it happen. Strickland is the hot new thing, but 6 months from now, nobody will give a damn about you. Wardlow will win the championship and take the AEW championship to the Undisputed Kingdom. So there you go. Swerve Strickland with Princess Nana, Prince Nana, and Samoa Joe took on the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, and beat them. Chris Jericho told Hook that it was the first time he wrestled his Lionheart Chris at the ECW arena when he wrestled Taz. He said, I'll never forget that. He said, but I feel like I have a connection with him, which makes me feel like I have a connection to you. I'll never respect you until you dump me on my head at Revolution, he said, and now I realize you're the real deal. FTW Championship on the line. Hook defended against Brian Cage and kept it. Moving on, Killswitch defeated Matt Mentor. Backstage, Kyle O'Reilly says he don't know why. He's got nothing but love and respect for the Undisputed Kingdom, but he's going to have a second chance to do something else. Chris Statlander defeated Rio. Just going to give you a couple of wrestling updates. With Stokely Hathaway in her corner, and they said they have eyes on the TBS Championship next against Julia Hart. Julia Hart and Will Nightingale forgot who she is, and on Collision she'll show her. The House of Black will destroy, in a vignette, the House of Black said they will destroy Mark Briscoe this Saturday night on Collision. Mark Briscoe said, I'm not afraid of the House of Black. I challenge you to the Atlanta street fight, because they're going to be in Atlanta this weekend, I guess. Mark said he didn't bring Jeff Jarrett with him, and Jay said we need a low-down, like Jarrett for a street fight. Jay Briscoe said that it's time for him to man up and help my friend over 20 years. Jay Briscoe. No, not Jay Briscoe. Not Jay White, but Jay Lethal said that. He said he said, you don't need to trust him, trust me. So Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are going to tag up with the Briscoes to take on the House of Black this weekend. Oh, well. And Ospreay won his first match. There you go. After the match, Bryan Danielson got into the ring and had a stare down with him. Woohoo! See, the fire department even said that it wasn't that fun. Captain Hot Buns is in the house. Good morning, Captain Hot Buns. Gail says good morning to Sue, Sweet Leaf and Gang, Bob too. Hello, Alice and all. Wish you your lovely bride well, and hope Andrew is getting stronger. She is getting stronger. She's a little mad I didn't get her a Red Bull early this morning, but hey, she'll be all right. I'll get her one after the show. I'll apologize to her, but I had to be at work. Anyway, I didn't want to drive that far away. Anyway, Sweetleaf says, good morning, going out to you. Sue says, hello. Alice and everybody in Canada says, good morning. Captain Hot Buns. I love that name. He's so cool. At least Orange Cassidy won on the show last night, thank God. And now we're going to have Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. I guess Will Ospreay beat another fellow member of the Don Callis family. I guess he's out of the Don Callis family. I would. Pete, who's your doctor you deal with? Oh, okay, you're asking. Slow heart. There you go. All right, we still have the poll question up, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This thing is fluctuating all morning. It's one of the best poll questions. We've had 4 of them so far, and they all been great. All right, which of these historic places, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to visit? Now, I've already visited Gettysburg, so I've got to choose one of the other ones. There's 2 of them I want to visit. All right, the Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, Gettysburg, or the Winchester Mystery House. Right now, Gettysburg is at 13% because most of us probably visited it. The Stanley House, which is the house. You can say whatever you want there, Pete. No problem. The Stanley House, which is Stephen King based his book, his novel, The Shining on, is getting 20% of the votes. The Abbeville Horror House and the Winchester Mystery House both are tied at 33% and everything. Yeah, guys, you can say whatever you want in there. Just, that'd be cool. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some true crime. A lot of true crime. Are you ready, AI? I am ready. I am ready. I've been rebooted and ready to go. It is time for RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're going to become AI like every other major radio station out there that's trying to fire people. And you listeners have to listen to AI. You do what we say. Yay, yay, yay. Back in a moment. We'll be back in a moment on the RyanORadio Penitentiary. That's what I said. All right, let's jump into it. True crime. We'll start off in Georgia.
Cloudy skies with a period of light rain later in the day. Higher 68 south-southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour for Friday. That's 60% chance of showers. Rain continues to come down Friday night. Thunder showers and periods of rain throughout the entire day. South-southeast winds 5 to 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rainfall 100%. Localized flooding is possible. Saturday, high near 68 with thunder showers and 90% chance of showers. A little low near 45 degrees.
Continue to be with us, guys.
Winds 5 to 10 miles per hour for Saturday night. Party planning for Sunday with a high near 59 and a low near 36. That's your active weather forecast, sponsored by Active Pest Control. On this Thursday, summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or doing things at all. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly.
All right, we got to get through these pretty quick.
Services like bed bug, vermin roach, and flea control. Even if you can't see them, insects are all around you 24/7. Active Pest Control wants to be the first line of defense. Active Pest Control. Repair, find, best termite coverage around. Active Pest Control. 34 Jefferson Street, Newton. 770-954-9941.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today, raises a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Carnival time is finally here. LaGrange Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more. Across from the Callaway Football Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. Presented by LaGrange College, Jordan Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement. March 7th through the 17th. LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
Hi, Lisa Wolf to tell you that the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show and the 30-minute Radio Rarities podcast can be emailed to you every Monday via digital download link.
All right, we're getting ready to come back. Start some of our true crime news stories, and then we'll get...
Plus the games, celebrity interviews, music trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
I know he does. He got some crazy people. Guys, he definitely got some crazy relatives, don't he? There you go. Thanks to Randy Rocket Goody for being with us yesterday. He'll be back with us and continues to be on the show. All right, we still got our poll question up. I'll ask that in just a few moments before we get ready to close out this hour. We should have Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries joining us. So I've got historic places you guys might be one like to visit, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Let's jump into some true crime news. It's True Crime Thursday. All your headline news that needs to be known. Gail, looking for the link is what P is doing. So there you go. Happy Thursday from Cher in Iowa. Thank you. A 57-year-old Gwinnett County man is behind bars after allegedly beating a teen and leaving him unconscious, plus threatened to sexually assault his 15-year-old sister, who he thought was his girlfriend, during a road rage incident on February 28th. 18-year-old driver, and of course, as an 18-year-old driver, you're not going to drive perfect. You might get a little too close or flash your lights or whatever. We got to be as adults. We got to understand. But this idiot didn't want to understand. He got mad with his good old ball self. I tell you what, boy, I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm going to beat this young boy up. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you come talk to me, buddy? Dwayne Sutton. Why don't you come talk to a man instead of beating up on a kid? That's like a man that beats up on a woman. Come talk to a man. You won't. All right. Anyway, this Dwayne guy and the kid, you know, of course, I guess he was passing and got mad, and they were gesturing back and forth with flipping each other off. It became a road rage incident. This guy's pulled his pickup truck, cut this kid off, pulled him behind him in the park. Actually, pulled him behind him in the parking lot, and you know, as the kid pulled into a parking lot, pulled him behind him. Of course, 18-year-old kid acting a fool. I've got some that are 18, 19-year-olds and get in here and say things on the feed. I'm not gonna beat them up and get mad at them because they said something or did something. This guy's an idiot. He's old enough to know better. And he's 57 years old. And by the way, hey, late great Brent Turner, this guy, ugly. You can tell everybody you were, you know, your family say, hey, Brent grew, looked good. This guy was a goofy looking, you know what. Anyway, this Daryl guy pulled him behind him, exited the vehicle, pulled the kid out, beat him repeatedly in the face, and then threatened to sexually assault the girl in the car, which was 15 years old, and he thought was his girlfriend, which was his sister. And of course, the guy was actually arrested, and he's being held without bond right now. This is not a dumb crook. This is an idiot. Let me tell you something. You can get mad all day long at the young and the youth and get mad. What the hell is wrong with you? Okay? What the hell is wrong with you? You are not right to go and do this. I bet some of his good old boy friends think, boy, it's all right for me to do that. That kid made me mad. He flipped me off. I'm not going to let some kid flip me off. Ignore it. Ignore it. If he was driving erratically, then you pull in the parking lot and say, hey, I'm not trying to scare you, young man, but you almost caused an accident back there, and I'm going to be, and if he just started cussing you out, and you can call and you walk away. No, he pulls up and starts beating the kid up. Instead of being the adult and trying to talk it out with the kid, really shouldn't have followed him in the first place. Look what happened to the woman that chased down the guy that she killed a year ago here in the Georgia area. And everything. I am so happy to be here. Thank you. I appreciate you being with us. And so we got to start thinking, guys. 57 years old, you know better than to chase somebody down. What if the kid would have had a gun? Okay. He probably wouldn't chase him down if it was probably a Caucasian kid, is all I'm gonna say. Been another type of kid that he wouldn't chase him down, he'd have got his ass shot. His redneck ass would have got shot. That's mean, Ryan. He's mean. Well, there's some people you just don't mess with out here in the world. You don't chase people down and do things like that. It was immature, this 57-year-old man, to do this. I'm glad he's still behind bars. Tomorrow's the last day of school, then the weekend. Woohoo! You got the weekend off, all right. And kids are going to say things and do things, and you as an adult is going to have to understand. And this kid was probably 18 years old. Heck, driving in Gwinnett County is not a good place to drive for adults like me. I don't like driving through there. Okay? And an 18-year-old kid that was probably taking his sister home from school or whatever, he was probably a little scared, a little nervous in traffic, probably either a little too close or pulling in and out of traffic. I don't know exactly what the cause of it was, but this guy had road rage and was mad at this kid. Maybe the kid wasn't driving fast enough for him, and he goes by him and he, gets mad at him and the kid flips him off. Could have been something like that. Everybody's out there on the road, guys. You can't expect them just because you've been driving for a number of years and you want to drive like Mario Andretti in NASCAR. Don't mean everybody out there drives like that. That's why we have patrol officers out there giving tickets, because some people drive like maniacs. Okay. And this guy's getting what he deserved. He's going to be charged. He's getting what he deserved. There you go. There you go, Gail. Pete gave you his doctor. But a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand. They think, oh, I have a right to be mad. Well, what if the kid was driving slower? He got mad about driving slow behind him. What if more than likely, this 18-year-old kid with his 15-year-old sister in the car, he was told to drive safe home. He was probably driving a little slower than he should. This man, just a Wayne man, gets mad and blows at him, comes by him. Of course, the kid's going to flip him off because that's what 18-year-old kids think. Whatever. As an adult, you shouldn't get mad at it. And kids say things to me all the time. They get in my feet and say things. I'm supposed to cry about that? Jesus Christ. That's what happens when you take too much fentanyl and drink, and you come from that generation that everybody's lazy. I drive the speed limit and people behind me don't like it. I know shit. Well, forget them. You're driving safe. Do what you got to do. If they get mad, let them get mad. And if they flip you off, just keep going. I ignore people if they're blowing at me and everything. I'm not saying I drive slow, and I'm not saying I drive fast. I drive the speed limit like you say, but I'm saying that not everybody can handle somebody behind them. So, this kid did this. He beat this kid up. He pulls up in the parking lot behind this kid, snatches him out of the car, beats him up, and threatens to sexually assault a 15-year-old child. That and look, these are young people. You look at it, it doesn't matter. He's 18. Okay, well, he's old enough to drive. He's got to be. You don't know his age, so in your mind, he's got to be at least 16. And his passenger must be at least 15, 16. You're not going to automatically know that person is driving the car that's young. And this guy threatens sexual assault on a child. That's the big part. Besides beating up the boy, he threatens the boy's sister, who he thinks is his girlfriend, and says things towards her. He's 57 years old. He knows better. We know better. You're supposed to age gracefully. Okay? Wow. Don't like it when they ride my tail. I know. A lot of people don't. So there you go. We're getting ready to take another break in a minute. But first, I want to get through a couple of news stories. This was in Nashville, Tennessee. A 44-year-old woman's body was found in the body of water last week. Emily Bradley was last seen on February 18th when she was reported missing 2 days later, Saturday, March 2nd. Her body was found at the White Creek near Buena Vista Park. Do you know where that's at? We got Gail in here. Do you know where the Buena Vista Park, White's Creek is? Gail? She had been missing for a couple of days. The case is still under investigation on what happened and who killed her. Wow. I know we got listeners from Tennessee, so you guys let me know if you know where that place is. Buena Vista Park. near the Whites Creek. Yeah, this is a sad situation. Young lady, I think she was a young lady. Her name was Emily Bradley, who was last seen and everything. Wow. Sad situation, I agree. So Gail says she knows where it's at. Is it a good family location? Is it a safe location? Do people go there and do a lot of, fishing and different things like that? Or is it just out in the middle of nowhere that, if you go out there, you're going out there just to be out there alone? Is it one of those kind of places? All right, guys, we still got the feed up there. I want to know. We'll ask you the question in just a few moments. One more newsworthy note before you take a break and come back for some more true crime. Deputies in Daytona Beach, Florida, arrested a 34-year-old woman by the name of Chelsea Wright and her 33-year-old ex-boyfriend, Andrew Marks, on suspicion of conspiracy to rob and beat a 73-year-old man. Try to beat him to death. Yeah, but it has had riff-raff issues too. Oh, okay. All right. That makes now that you said that, it makes sense putting two and two together. The poor girl could have been kidnapped and taken out there, or she could have went out there with the wrong persons. Wow. Anyway, this Mark and Wright, this Wright lady and Mark, her ex-boyfriend, Andrew Mark, beat a 73-year-old man. Investigators found that the two, that Chelsea Wright and the 73-year-old supposedly were dating. I guess she was just using him for his money or whatever. And they were going to rob him, and she called up her ex-boyfriend to come do it. And, well, anyway, both suspects are behind bars because they got caught trying to rip off this elder statesman. Wow. Man. The sick world of people and the abuse of people. Some people work their whole lives to get things. Some people are given it. But still, some people like to take from people. Good Lord Almighty. I wish I was evil like that. No, I don't. I'm good. I wish I was evil enough to take from people. No, I don't. I'm just messing with you guys. Bag in a moment. You can't see me because I'm on the radio there, John. Unless you're watching the YouTube page. We got more true crime after this break.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared?
What do we got here?
Hi, I'm Holly Reese.
I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing. Thank you very much for subscribing. I'm getting the feeds here. All right, we're going to ask that burning question when we come back. Oh, I got to update the poll for you. This thing has been fluctuating all morning. That's pretty darn cool. I like it when a poll question does that. These poll questions are helping out with my feed on the YouTube, by the way, guys. That's why I'm putting them up.
Is Newman's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website.
I got to come up with a Good Friday question tomorrow.
Or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone fried chicken.
Pimpin' Ain't Easy coming up next.
Location, 31 Jackson Street.
Almost better to just stay home. I know, right?
Great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday.
I know some people think they got to get to a location quicker than they should, and they never make it there sometimes.
Location, bring you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone fried chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Want to give back to your community in a meaningful way? Cares for Kids is a Keller Williams Realty founded charity in which 100%.
All right, I'm going to do a couple more, do a break, get ready for our guests. Pimpin' Ain't Easy. Pimp inspired by Dexter, the TV show. We're going to talk about him next.
634-9770 today to learn more on how to be involved or text K for K Unit to 44321 today.
Yep, you heard his sweetheart earlier. Here we go. We're coming back.
45's a fair radio show where I play all Final 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Newton, Georgia.
What's up, everybody? Welcome you back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown with yours truly. That's right, worldwide, everywhere you need to be. Radio, real radio, all over the world, all over the streams and everything. More viewers and listeners now combined than OAN and Newsmax. I'm gonna get up there with CNN and Fox and all of them one day. We'll see. But I got more than them the other ones right now, so that's good. All right, True Crime Thursday continues as we'll have a special guest, Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries, joins us in the final period of play this morning. She and I are going to talk about her road trips all over Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida and see what she talks about this morning. And she goes to historic places, and sometimes they're a little scary. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? And let me give you the update on the poll question there. The Stanley Hotel's got 24% of your votes. The Abbeville Horror House has 29% of your votes. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the home of the final battle and the most bloodiest battle of the Civil War, has 18% of your votes. And the Winchester Mystery House in California has 29% of your votes. Ooh-wee. It's a good one. Keep voting, guys, because it helps out on the page. And that's our poll question this morning. Which of those historic places would you like to visit? All right, let's do a little pimpin' ain't easy, baby. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Just ask all the rappers from the early 90s and the Godfather from the WWE. Whoops, we can't talk about that anymore. That is real cancel culture in this day and time. Well, a 36-year-old man who was convicted of killing and dismembering one of his employees. He's a pimp, by the way. And his employee is a hooker, just to let you guys know. A lady of the night, a prostitute. One of his employees in 2018, in covering up her death in an attempt to obtain her life insurance policy, is now being charged. The jury found Corey Martin guilty of a murder for hire conspiracy, and wire fraud conspiracy, aggravated identity theft, and fraud and a use of identification and a plot to kill 26-year-old Brandy Odom. Martin faces a multitude of charges and life in prison. Martin lives in Queens with Odom. What in the world is going on? It sounds like some feedback here. And I know there ain't no feedback. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about everybody on the air. Sorry about that, guys, and everybody on the air. Sound like some feedback, and I just don't know where that's coming from. Cannot be. Cannot be. Wow. The gremlins are coming after me this morning, Gail. Anyway, back to that. Martin lived in Queens with Brandy. Oh, Corey and Brandy lived together. Co-conspirators who were both engaged in commercial sex work for the defendant, who operated as their pimp. According to attorney's office, Martin and the co-conspirator, which they didn't bring the name up, illegally acquired 2 life insurance policies with the victim's name on it, and in March and December of 2017. They also used a debit card in Brandy's name to make payments for life insurance via Western Union. Wow. They were going to make sure they were going to get her life insurance, wasn't they? Well, Martin's co-conspirator testified in court and reportedly said that before they killed her, Brandy, that was, the defendant viewed the crime show, the first 48, and they talked about what not to do and what to do to avoid being caught by police. So Martin also watched the scripted serial killer drama Dexter because he was looking for ways to commit crimes to get rid of Brandy without anybody knowing he did it. Yeah, watching fake television and make-believe television and copying what they do on TV is really a bright idea out there, guys. Now, come on. Let me get rid of the body so they don't know I did it. Pimping ain't easy, man. Pimping ain't easy. Martin, pimping ain't easy, buddy. According to the co-conspirator, Martin covered the bathroom with heavy-duty black trash bags after they killed the girl and dismembered her body. United States Attorney Peace said in a statement, Martin said the victim saw the victim as a moneymaker, trafficked her for commercial sex, then killed her when he was done with her, tossing her out and everything. So, wow. How sick is some people, man? Yeah, man, I'm just going to do this, man. Pimping ain't easy, baby. Pimping ain't easy. Just ask old Snoop, man. Pimping just ain't easy, baby. Well, shizzle, rizzle, but mizzle, my kissle, cause sizzle, from pimping ain't easy, baby. Dude was so stupid. I'm gonna watch what not to do, and we're gonna do the opposite. That's how the cops that's how the police catch you every single time. I'm gonna do the opposite of what Jeffrey Dahmer did. I'm gonna kill these people, but I'm not gonna leave them in my apartment. No, man, you wouldn't have any kind of DNA on the victims with you. No. This is our dumb crook of the day. All right, we're going to take a break. Stay with us more on the way. We're going to close out this period after the break. We're getting funky now. Funky like a monkey, funky like a monkey. Stay tuned. Our good friend Sally Toole should join us in period number 3 as Histories and Mysteries. We're going to dive into that. Where's she going with us today? Where are we traveling with her today? We'll see after the top of the hour. Stay with us.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Biden administration is putting a limit on one bank.
Pimping ain't easy.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau finalized a rule Tuesday to limit late payment fees. A move the agency says will reduce the typical fee by 75%. Boeing and its largest union opened talks on Friday, seeking the first new contract in 16 years as the U.S. plane maker grapples with its ongoing 737 MAX safety crisis and after big gains.
Well, we got some more people on. We had many of you on earlier this morning.
Tesla's electric vehicle plant in Germany.
I'm a worldwide sensation. That's what I should be.
Evacuated Tuesday after a power outage that officials suspected was caused by arson. Target is launching a new paid membership that comes with
Okay, sounds good. I love it. What we're about to talk about this morning.
It would expand its existing Target circle.
Pimping ain't easy. It ain't easy. You got a collection of dumb criminals. Need to send them to Sweet Leaf. Yeah. Yeah.
Presented by LaGrange College, Jordan Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement. March 7th through the 17th, LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
It's a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killington Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources. So that
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday with Mick being released from the company and all that kind of stuff. I mean, released from Motley Crue, and they're trying to keep him from making money. Well, I would love to be able to do this. It just isn't working. Everything freezing up on me. People being charged in that shooting on the Rust movie set. And they should be. 2 people are dead. Mexico State's not going to play. They don't play. They don't play.
Be sure to listen to the Sustainable Brown Girl Radio Show every Thursday at 10 a.m.
He's got a solo album. He's got money. You just have to.
Time for the WQEE 99.1 FM Community Calendar. The 13th annual Sportsman's Raffle.
He'll be all good there, Gail.
From noon to 5
Oh, wait. That's not what I wanted.
110 chances for you to win grand prizes, $1,000 in cash, or even the big one, the GMC Sierra truck, presented by the Shriners Club. Tickets at Angie's Cleaners, 51 Aces Circle in Newton. Sarge's Baptist Church, they've got the big car show set for April 6th. Rain date is May 4th. Pre-registration is $20, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
We got a big week next week, too.
Sarge, Main Street in Newton. Additional information, Buster Meadows, 404-535-1961, or the church itself at 770-253-5859. The Palometa Masonic Lodge's car show, Saturday, June 22nd, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 504 Park Street, Palometa, Georgia. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, family, fun, food, and...
She's getting ready. We're getting her ready. She's coming on.
316-3244. Coweta Forces connecting Coweta recovery support groups nightly and daily at 36 South Edie Avenue in Newton. 678.
Yep, she's got some stories again this morning.
To Power Incorporate presents Save Our Youth, Become a Mentor. Students with a mentor has 52% less likely than their peers to skip school. 21704-3388.
Oh, computer.
City Church, 17 First Avenue, here in the Metro Atlanta area.
All right, don't be messing up there.
For one of our fourth services, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. inside services, 9 a.m. and 10:30 service outside under the tent. Cool, hip, kids, NCCBM, 6:30 p.m. Yes, 17 First Avenue, Pastor Jimmy Ellison invites you out. That's your WQEE 99.1 FM Community Calendar.
All right, let's see. Let's close it out. We got a couple more minutes. Stay tuned. Couple more minutes. Sally Toole from Histories and Mystery joins us in the final period. We're going to talk about the Revolutionary War and the impact it had on the state of Georgia, plus presidential sausage. Oh, you're going to love it. Hey, yeah, I got to get you hungry for breakfast, presidential sausage. My poll question this morning on the page, the YouTube page this morning is, which of these historic places would you like to visit the most? Here's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Is it the Stanley Hotel, which Stephen King used as a premise for his novel, The Shining? Is it the Abbeville Horror House? Is it Winchester's Mystery House? Or is the Gettysburg itself? Oh, I'll tell you right now, the poll question is up. 24% of you are want to stay at the Stanley Hotel. 29% of you want to stay the night at the Abbeville Horror House. 18% of you want to spend the night in the battlefield of Gettysburg. And 29% of you want to spend the night in one of those messed up rooms in the Winchester Mystery House. So that is which historic place, and I'm going to ask you that question. We'll keep the poll question up for you. Sally Toole from History and Mysteries is coming up for you at the top of the hour.
Hello, this is Barry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy today. Now, as you probably know, they are wrangling over the budget there in Washington, and the discussions are getting very heated. They claim there is nothing they can cut because they have cut everything to the bone. I find that kind of amazing. The Pentagon is audited every year.
Pete says all the above.
And they have failed all 5.
I've been to Gettysburg, so.
There was $220 billion that they could not find. They have no idea where the money went. They said, well, that's not really a whole lot of money in perspective, but it actually represents $1,375 per tax filer. To me, $220 billion seems like quite a bit. And if they think it's so little, why don't they send $1 billion or $2 my way? I say that the government is spending too much money, and they have to start paying attention to costs. And that is Barry Johnson's 2 cents on the economy. For your 2 cents, go to PerryJohnson2cents.com and enjoy life.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Ellison. I'm a pastor here at Newton City Church. I want to thank you for tuning in to our website and hope that you'll take the time to look throughout the website, all the different activities that are going on in life for our church. Our purpose here at Newton City is transforming lives for Jesus. You
gotta stay on. Add friends.
3 separate pillars. The first one is corporate worship.
You can get health insurance through each state. They should be. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Thanks for waking me up. No, just kidding.
You're welcome.
All day yesterday, I said I got to send Ryan an email, and then the day just was gone. How's that happen?
It's how it is.
How it is. We got a grandson. He's got a bunch of meetings he's gotten to do at school.
Right.
It's crazy. We've been having to watch the baby and dentist appointments and reading to the kids at school. It's just been crazy. So, a crazy week.
I'm sure it's been a crazy week here too. I had to take my wife last Friday to get operation on her back. So, yep, and she's now wanting to just get out now, and she's got to go see the grandbabies today, and so she's gonna have to drive. And she's good. She's good to drive, but
is she allowed to drive?
Well, they told her she couldn't drive for a few days, but that was Friday all the way through the weekend. So.
Right. So it was like an outpatient thing?
Yeah, it was an outpatient.
Oh gosh, it's amazing what they can do. Just saying surgery on your back just makes me cringe.
Oh, I know. It made her too.
I only had back trouble once from a bad fall, and I remember thinking, wow, this is some of the worst pain I've ever been in my life. Back pain is rough.
Well, she's finally able to get it started. She's going to have go back and do a neck later on. This is from car accident from a few years ago. Huh?
Who's her surgeon?
Doctor out of Johns Creek. He's got an office in Columbus. I can't remember his name right now.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting. That's kind of a ways to travel.
It was a drive. It was an
We got a good friend who got hurt real bad in a car accident. She's got metal in her back and everything, and she has to be one of the ones who has to go all the time to the pain management stuff to get, because she legit needs pain meds.
Right.
To even sleep or anything. They blood test you and everything like every other month or whatever to make sure you're taking the meds they tell you to take and not anything extra, that they won't give her the good ones if they find out she's doing other stuff to try to manage. So
wow.
It's a tricky thing, with the pain meds, but
Alice is here. Yes.
They got to keep a check on all that stuff. Those opioids killed a bunch of people.
I know, and the thing about it is, all I'm worried about all this, because we have to have that for the people that need it, and the people, and that's why I'm glad she's getting the operations and everything, so she don't have to be on all that. But there's a number of people out there, especially even older generations, that refuse to go get anything done, and they get, this opioids, they get addicted to it.
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, I was watching. There was some show finally came out, this documentary or something that said that, the whole testing for some of these drugs was on cancer patients.
Right.
So there was no evidence of how bad it was for you because they were terminal cancer patients. So they were all passing away before the effects could really be judged. And so then, the big pharmaceutical companies said, well, pain is pain, and they're going to start pushing it on people with chronic illnesses that have a long life. And then they started realizing that how addicting and, overwhelming these pills were just taking people's lives over. But I'm glad she's not having to take them.
Well, she was given the option.
After surgery.
Yeah, she was given the option, and she does not want to. She was happy because her legs were feeling better, but the back is still, because the surgery portion is hurting, and she's got regular pain medicine for it. But I just don't want her leaving. I don't want her leaving to go to She has to drive about 45 minutes to get to Alabama, and I can't afford to skip out. I can't afford to skip out of work to drive her down there and everything, and so it's just.
So you just have to keep in touch with her while she's on the road.
Yeah, and I don't want her. I really don't want her driving because I wanted her to rest, and she's been resting.
But she's not listening, huh?
Nope, because she don't want to make somebody mad. She don't want to make the stepdaughter mad, so she don't want to make her mad. I mean, and stepdaughter was a nurse and told her, well, you know, you got this, that, and the other you need to do, but just like a lot of women, unfortunately, she's stubborn.
You think?
I think so, yes.
I won't quote you on that one.
Well, I bet your husband will.
Oh, I'm sure he would agree. Yeah, we've been dealing with some stuff with one of our grandsons, with just lots of meetings, and you know, they got a 3-year-old, and some of these meetings are not the kind of meetings that you need to drag a 3-year-old into.
Oh, I know.
Trying to get his schoolwork straight, and he's got some. There's a lot of kids with depression since this COVID. These teenagers, you know, it's tough on him. He's 14, almost 15, and it's been tough. But being out of school and then going back to school, and then, you know, not being around your friends and then having to be around people. And, you know, they get made a lot of this. There's a lot of generation. They just want to sit in their room on their phones.
Yeah, I know. All right, we're getting ready to go on.
We had to drag him out to play basketball this season, and he grouched about it the whole time.
Dang. All right, we're getting.
Get out of bed, you know.
I know. We're about to go on.
Cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the final period play on this True Crime Thursday. It's a travel Thursday, too. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only, Ryan Neal, of course. And, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, the Navajo Nation, across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and all over the Jordan Communication of family radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right behind me at 99.1 FM, WQEE, the key home of inspirational talk, news, and Southern sports. It's also the home of the RyanORadio Penitentiary, where everything you need to be. That's right. Coming up this hour, we're going to travel with one of our favorite travel experts momentarily. But first, to all our haters out there tuning in, I appreciate you too. All I got to do is listen up to Triple H and tell them what I think. Tell them, Triple H. That's right. I am the man around here, whether they like it or not. Well, our poll question is up on the YouTube page. I've enjoyed these poll questions. It's made it more interactive for us. And today's, since we're into travel mode, today's poll question is, which of these historic places would you like to visit? I have it right now. 3 of them are tied. Wow. I figured it would get there. I've got the Stanley Hotel, 28%. Abbeville Horror House, 28%. Winchester Mystery House, 28%. And Gettysburg at 17%, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. Now, our guest this morning is a travel expert. She's a Family Feud champion. She's a travel expert. She's an actress. She's an author. She's a tour guide. She's a grandmother. She's a mother. She's a breakfast cooker. And she's a guest here every first Thursday of the month. Please welcome from Histories and Mysteries, the one, the only, Sally Toole. Good morning, Sally.
Hey, good morning, Ryan. I think I'd pick Gettysburg.
You would? Well.
Yeah, because I tell you what, when I do my tours of any type, over the years, people will always mention, have you been to Gettysburg?
Right. And I tell you.
If you've been there, just say it's super, 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 super spooky, and imagine the suffering that lingers.
Well, I've been there. I've been there back in.
Yeah.
I've visited Gettysburg, so out of all these, that's the one I do know. I've been there. Stayed the family. This is when I was in high school. The family stayed there on the campsite right off of the site of where the Civil War battle is and everything. So at night you would see stuff in the skies and hear stuff and everything. So it was a pretty cool experience. So, but
I think I went when I was a kid. I haven't been back as an adult. But the other places, that was the Stanley. A lot of people talk about that as well.
that's one I want to visit is the Stanley Hotel. And between,
Listen, if you don't want to leave Georgia, you've got, the Windsor down
yes,
here in America.
yes, yes.
So if there's anybody listening who doesn't want to travel all these long distances, we got a lot of cool places right here in Georgia as well. So, but yeah, I think I'd vote for Gettysburg if I could vote for one.
All right, there you go. We'll appreciate it. So there you go. We got everybody in here voting. I appreciate you guys doing our poll question this morning. We started a couple hours ago.
That's cool.
And we started doing these poll questions on the YouTube page, and we got some reactions. We do true crime. We got a different poll question every day. So there, Sally. So today was just,
check those out.
yep, today was just for you because since you were being on, I said, we'll do what? I said, an historic place. So here's the thing. It was a historic place, and then the historic place with the background they all have. So yeah. So.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. That's crazy stuff.
It is. Well, we're going to talk about your travels here and everything, and what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about heroes of the Revolutionary War and out of Georgia making the way here, and presidential sausage. I'm getting hungry already. So
I know. That was when I came up with that title. We both died laughing, and I just let it roll.
Ooh, I love it.
I said, okay, I'm gonna push the envelope here, Joe.
There you
We've gotten a lot of hits, so whatever. That's YouTube for you,
That's it.
Sometimes you gotta play that YouTube thumbnail game, I reckon.
And that's how you got to do it. They're like, presidential sausages. Ooh, I guess they were looking. Jimmy Carter sausage? No, I don't want to see that.
I know. It was a joke. It was great of a joke, you guys. But hey, it's been kind of fun. We've gotten a few reactions from it too, but yeah, we've been back getting out there filming a lot, Ryan, and we've been hitting a lot of little roadside cemeteries and graveyards. And you know us, we love to be in a graveyard, walking around checking things out, and we just love to get some of these names. And we have the benefit nowadays of the internet.
Yes.
So we can just put in a Google search for somebody's name, where years ago I would have sat in a library for days.
Oh, I know.
Trying to find anything out. So we can really get this information pretty quickly. And of course, the internet has good side and a bad side, of course, like everything. But if you're looking for the good side of the internet, it is the ability to do some really deep research in an incredibly fast amount of time. Sometimes I feel like I'm on an episode of Star Trek. I'm on my phone finding out things, from around the world.
Right.
And so, if you use it for the good, then it's a good thing.
It is.
Just don't go to the dark side of the internet, because there's some dark sides for sure.
Oh my.
We just love finding out the history, and we've been staying pretty close in Meriwether County and Coweta County, but that's okay.
Right.
Because we've just skimmed the tip of the iceberg of the history in these two counties. And we've been at it for 3 years, almost 3 years now, and still digging deep and having people, hey, did you check this out? You need to go here, you need to go there. And every, all the stones, when you walk through a cemetery, every stone, even the ones that you can't read the names, there's a story there.
There is.
And the stones tell a story, and that's what we're trying to do.
We definitely want to talk about that. I mean, the Stones tell the stories everywhere. And of course, in the television series, there's a television series where the Stones are the story, where they travel through time, and Jamie and Claire, and everybody might know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to send me a link to some of that stuff, because it sounds crazy.
Oh, it's based on a book. It's a television series based on a book on Stars.
Well, I'll have to check that out because you know me, I love me some TV.
Well, you'll definitely like this
I
one.
totally admit to being a TV fan. I love me some TV. So, but yeah, we were out in Luthersville, Georgia.
Right.
And we went to a couple of. We thought it was a graveyard. The
Okay.
first one, because there was a church there, and then we found another one. We found out that these two churches, the Luthersville Methodist Church, and then over in Lone Oak, which is like just the next town over.
Right.
That the two churches are sister churches and share a preacher. And
Right.
we've driven by the one in Lone Oak several times, taking the grandkids out last summer to the splash pad. Grantville, Georgia has an awesome public access splash pad in the summer.
Right.
And the kids just love it there. It's got a nice restroom. It's monitored by, somebody's there if you need first aid. And so we would spend, a couple of days a week over there in the heat of the summer. Well, we'd go past this church and see a historic marker and never stop, never had a chance to stop. Always had the kids in the car, so you don't want to stop with them in the car.
Right. No.
But once you let them out of the car, it's like letting, tigers out of the cage. God knows what's going to happen.
I know, right?
They can run. They can start fighting. Who knows what, right? So you got to keep them buckled in.
No.
But we finally got over there, and what was cool was I am relatively new to Meriwether County, and I finally put together the connection between the Lewis and Clark expedition and Meriwether County.
Really?
Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with Lewis and Clark, but I didn't know that they were connected to Meriwether.
Meriwether County. So, and I found out I was at the elementary school, Unity, here in Meriwether County, and I asked the first grade teacher, because she had a thing about Lewis and Clark, I said, did you know about the county basically being named after Lewis? Was Lewis, Meriwether County was named for David Meriwether.
Right.
His cousin was Meriwether Lewis. And Meriwether Lewis's mother was the aunt of David Meriwether.
Wow.
They all started in what was known as the colony of Virginia, and they were in the Charlottesville area. So these Meriwethers and Lewis family were joined by marriage. When she married, she named her son Lewis. Her last name was Meriwether. She named him Lewis because her maiden name was Lewis.
Okay.
And so the Lewises and the Meriwethers are related, and Meriwether County is named for David Meriwether, whose cousin was Meriwether Lewis from Lewis and Clark.
Wow. You know what?
And the reason that he was picked, so the Lewis and Clark expedition was funded and put together by Thomas Jefferson.
Right.
Because he wanted them to find out what's on the other side of the Mississippi past he had just purchased the territories down there, the Louisiana Purchase. Huge plot of land, way bigger than Louisiana now, of course, but it was a huge purchase. And he wanted them to go explore the land. Well, the neighbors were the Lewises and the Meriwethers, and that's how Meriwether Clark was commissioned to go off on the Lewis and Clark expedition because of the family connection to Thomas Jefferson. And Jefferson, this is interesting. I just realized this just now.
Right.
You were talking about presidential sausage.
Right.
The reason Thomas Jefferson liked David Meriwether's mom so much is she was known, this is crazy that this connection just came together. She was known for her sausage.
Oh, no.
I kid you not, it just occurred to me. And that was part of the research, was Thomas Jefferson would buy, she would season the hogs in a certain way, and he would buy like 4 and 5 hogs every season from David Meriwether's mother, Lucy.
Wow.
Sausage connection. This is crazy. But she was very well known for her seasoning of the sausage. And we're going to talk about some other sausage in a little while. But So because he knew the family, and they asked him, basically to get their, here we've got this young man, he wants an adventure, and that's how he was commissioned by Thomas Jefferson. So, but when we were at the cemetery, the whole thing started because we were just getting the names. I didn't know any of the connection to Virginia until we get home and start the editing process.
Okay.
No clue. But I'm around one grave, and I kept smelling a smell. Now, you're talking about going to Gettysburg when you were a kid.
Right.
Now, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. in Alexandria, Virginia. And on the weekends, we would take, my dad called them day trips, and sometimes over one night. But he would take us to all the places of historical value in that area, which were numerous. And Charlottesville was big. And my oldest brother ended up actually going to UVA and studying architecture. And so Charlottesville, was something we went to frequently. Well, there was a smell of these historic buildings that I remembered as a kid. Now, I don't know what the plant was. Somebody out there knows. Some plant that used to grow around older buildings. But I smelled that same smell at the cemetery that day.
Wow.
Talk about it on the video, like, wow, I just got this weird smell. Reminds me of when we were in Virginia. I say that on the video before I know the research. And when I get home, I find out that the guy's grave that I'm basically right there at, he came here from Virginia.
Wow.
Virginia.
Wow.
And I smelled the same smells from when I was a kid.
Wow.
So that one, really freaked me out because, we do talk a little bit about the paranormal sometimes, you and I, and
Right.
smells are like a major event in the paranormal realm. People say I smelled my dad's, pipe tobacco,
Right.
or my mother's perfume. My son sometimes will smell his grandfather's aftershave, so smells are a big thing. So when I smelled that smell, I even say on the video, wow, that was weird. I just smelled something that reminded me of Virginia.
Wow.
Not knowing at the time that there was a Virginia connection.
Wow. Wow.
So I thought that was kind of cool later when I looked back. I was like, well, they were telling me, hey, remember Virginia?
They remember Virginia. Well,
Remember Virginia. And then, we found out that this guy, with the spot that we were on, his father was an early colonist in Virginia. And, of course, the colonies, we know, started along the coastline. But as with anything, you start to encroach inward. And some of the first reasons they came inward were fur trading.
Right.
That goes way back up in the Hudson Valley of New York. The fur trading, gold. They're looking for gold. They're looking for any kind of precious, element that they can trade, for economic growth. Well, they eventually make their way, into Georgia. We know a lot for granite and a lot for gold and also farmland. Well, we find out that this guy's father, who was a colonist in Virginia, in Charlottesville area, he was a Revolutionary War hero, and the group that he was with, his troop, was part of the Battle of Savannah. And apparently when they were marching home from Savannah, he put in his diary that the Georgia landscape was pleasing to the eye, and that enticed him to come back to Georgia, and he, was part of his son was then part of the land lottery, and that's where they acquired, vast acreage here in Meriwether County, and they are direct descendants of Revolutionary War heroes commissioned out of Virginia.
Wow.
And it was because they just were, walking home from battle and noticing how lovely the Georgia countryside was. And so that was sort of interesting. So Meriwether County has a strong connection to Virginia. And then we went to the Lone Oak, the sister church, about a week later, and found similar Virginia and South Carolina colonies. So you see, these were the coastlines, and then they made their way in. And of course, we know Georgia has a coastline, but it's not a large coastline. It's a pretty narrow gap.
Right.
And these folks probably came into Charleston, South Carolina, and then made their way in. Virginia would have been Norfolk was a port, and then of course Savannah here in Georgia.
Of course.
And this is how people came from Europe, through these original ports. And so it was kind of neat to see this connection. And then we found, now are you familiar with Thomas Crossings in Newnan?
I am.
Basically Sharpsburg area.
Yes.
Well, that main intersection of Thomas Crossroads apparently was an Indian trail and then later a stagecoach trail. So those crossings, now we couldn't find out why they're called Thomas Crossings.
Right.
If there's anybody out there listening that knows, post something on Facebook for us, send me a message on my YouTube channel. I want to know. We could not, the only connection was a gentleman named Thomas Koch.
Right.
Of the Koch brothers.
Huh.
And they were, Christians who started churches and so forth.
Right.
But we found, so also in Newnan, guys, there's a Lego store, pretty famous Lego store.
Yes.
And people love the Lego store. I was blown away the first time I went in there. I was like, wow, I've just been stepping on and throwing away Legos for years. I'm going to start pocketing them and turning them in for cash. Who knew? It's like a gold mine of Legos in there.
And you know those guys.
Behind that Lego store at Thomas Crossings, there is a random cemetery plot.
Ooh.
And we've been seeing it going to Crossroads Baptist Church back and forth.
Right.
And we've always wanted to stop. We got there, and we've got a video up, and it has a huge stone honoring a Revolutionary War hero.
Wow.
So the Revolutionary War heroes, they are memorialized here in Coweta and Meriwether County, Georgia.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool stuff if you're interested in tracking your roots or your heritage, and you live in this area. There's a good chance you came from South Carolina or Virginia area. It looks like to us from what we found out. But it's neat that this cemetery plot, there are some new stones on top of the old stones. So somebody out there knows, and somebody out there cares enough to put new stones to keep the memory of this Revolutionary War hero alive.
That's true. That's true.
And that's neat. That last name was Neely.
Neely.
And of course, there's a Neely Road. And
Yes.
then there's a sign over there that says Burial Grounds of Ebenezer Church. And Ebenezer Church Road is like a block down the street from there.
Wow. Well, I know where all that is. I know where you're talking.
Yeah, it's really cool that it's just right off the side of the road. People drive by it by the hundreds every day. But there was you could see a lot of stones, but only a few where you could read, the inscriptions. So there's a lot of mystery still left. So if anybody out there is listening and knows, boy, we would really love, to get a conversation going about the history of that area.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to get ready to take a break. And another noteworthy note for you was the Lego store you visited. The two gentlemen that run that store were featured on that Lego competition on Fox a few years back.
Yeah. They were telling us that they've been on TV several times, and I think they have their own little YouTube channel and everything. So if you're, what do they call them? Bricks, I guess they call them.
Yep, they call them bricks. Yeah.
The bricks. I'm not into the Legos, but we sure have a lot of kids in the family who are super into the Legos, and it's a big biz.
It is. Well, we're going to take a break, come back, do some more history and mysteries with Sally Toole, and get ready to conclude and see what she's got coming up for you after the break. So stay with us, more on the way. That show I was talking about is called Outlander. And it is.
Okay, we started that one.
Okay.
Didn't keep going. I need to go back.
You need to go because they go all the way up to the Revolutionary War, and she's got two husbands. One in the future, which I would say World War II is when I think she ended or something. Second World War, and she went back to him and went through the stones, and she went back to the original guy she loved and brought her daughter back in time, and then they went into the future in time, and there's a Revolutionary War going on. It's a good one. it's taken a bunch of history and mixed it in. But I've been waiting for the guy in the past to see if he can go into the future, because obviously he can, because in the first episode, she supposedly saw the Jamie Fraser guy, and when they were in Scotland, her and her husband.
Right. I remember I think we watched like 4 or 5 episodes. And
Yeah.
just didn't get back into it.
It's good.
Get back into that one. That's cool.
It's a good show. You just got to get into it.
And it
Cowley
has something
County.
to do with a pile of stones, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, they go.
area or whatever.
Everybody can travel. Everybody can travel, and there's a lot now as it progresses into 7 seasons. There's a lot of people that can travel through the stones, and it's not just her being able to travel to the past and her daughter and her daughter's husband traveling to the past. There's some people from the past that can travel to the future. So the stones, it picks whoever can travel. So they haven't figured out whether her husband from the past can travel to the future or not. I would love to see him in the 70s, because it would be the 70s. And I'd love to see him in the 70s, but I don't know how he can handle the guy from Scotland handle the future.
Well, you remember the old book by Mark Twain, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court?
Yeah.
A similar idea of the time traveling into a different time period. It's interesting stuff. It's something that humans have pondered for quite some time.
Well, it's a good little show, and it progressed.
Get back into that one then. I'm glad you mentioned it, because we did start it, and I think we liked it. Mark has trouble sometimes with the time travel one. He gets a little mixed up when they go from here to there.
Well, they're gonna go.
The flashback, honey. Wait.
Yeah. There's flashbacks in it, and but eventually it gets to the point where one episode is stuck in a certain time and everything. She goes into the 2nd season. She has Jamie's baby, and she gets back with her original husband before he dies. They're professors, and she becomes a doctor in the future. And the thing about it is, she started she moved back to the past in the last 5th and 6th season. She started creating things that we had in the 60s and 70s that they'd never heard of in the 1800s or whatever. She was creating things like certain medicines and everything, knocking people out to do operations and stuff. And so it goes all the way from Scotland to all the way to the American Revolution in season 7.
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to get back into it. Yeah, I'll get back into it. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
you know what they say about going back and changing history, though.
Well, I can't wait to see what they do, because when you're talking about
that can do some damage sometimes. Interesting stuff. Interesting. And then it makes you look at people funny when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Are you from the past?
Well, especially the way some of them dress. So.
I was going to say that. I'm glad you did, because I didn't want to say it.
All right, we're coming back.
Oh, that's funny.
Welcome back into the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're here with Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries, and Sally is our traveler, our blogger, an author, an actress, a Family Feud champion, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and sometimes she makes them great egg biscuits and stuff.
Heck yeah. But hey, listen, what we did last week, instead of making some breakfast, we had relatives traveling through from Tennessee to Florida, and we took them out to a breakfast joint. That's been featured on the Food Network.
Really?
Yeah, over there in Harrelson. Give a shout out to Town and Country Restaurant.
Yep.
We love that spot. That's excellent. And then over in Luthersville, the county line, great breakfast, guys. If anybody needs a breakfast joint, we know them all.
Yes.
This little spot in Harrelson is in a gas station. No kidding.
Yeah. Yep.
And they have a little cafe, and they started in the 1940s, and their recipe for sausage is basically world-renowned because it's the sausage to the president.
Oh, really?
Even goes back to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Had it
FDR.
brought over to Warm Springs, and he enjoyed it over here at the little White House. And then in the 70s, Jimmy Carter's, I believe it was his Secretary of Defense, was traveling to Columbus. And he got out of the airport, here in Atlanta. And to get to Columbus from Atlanta airport, you drive south on the 85 highway, but the old highway 8574, I think it's called.
Yep.
And he went through Harrelson, and he said he was hungry or something, and the next thing you know, they're finding this sausage, and he takes back to Jimmy Carter. And then George Bush stopped there for breakfast as well because he'd heard the stories.
Woo!
And Jimmy Carter's family has been either picking up or having delivered the Williams Brothers sausage by the pound to Plains, Georgia since the 1970s. And his grandson was actually there and had breakfast about 3 weeks ago. And he waited for the breakfast rush to pass and took home, had a cooler in the car and drove home with like 15,000 sausage.
Woo! That's a lot of sausage.
Guy Pierre from the
Yes.
Food Network who does the diners.
Drive-ins and dives. Love the show.
Well, he had another show called Southern Eats.
Okay.
And in season 1 of Southern Eats, he goes in this gas station cafe.
I seen it. I remember it. Yes.
Breakfast sausage.
Yes. I watch just about anything he's done.
He's really cool. He always finds these little spots where, people are really into a certain specialty of food. But the diner has got great breakfast. They're open, I think it's Monday through Saturday. And I tell you what, guys, if you want a good breakfast, now it's also well known by the deer hunters. Meriwether County is big on the deer hunting. People come, from far and wide to deer hunt in this county. I don't know why they need to bother hunting. If you just drive down the road in the dark, you'll hit one. But that's a whole other thing. That like Luke Bryan and Blake Shelton, they've been known to come to Mary and make pancakes. And
I'm getting hungry.
Looking for a good breakfast. That's the one to find for sure.
Well, I'm getting hungry now, so I'm gonna have to get me some breakfast as soon as this is over.
Time for breakfast.
Time for breakfast.
It's so interesting though, because I just now talking to you, even the hours of editing,
right,
did not put together the connection between Thomas Jefferson loving the sausage from this one lady and how she spiced her hams, and she was famous for that. And now here, within a week or so, I go to a restaurant to highlight the sausage that Jimmy Carter loves.
Ooh!
The presidents, they like their food. They got special foods they all like.
I know. I need to run for president so I can get special food. So, tell everybody how what you got coming out next, what's up, how we can check out History and Mysteries and all that good stuff, Sally.
Yep. If anybody wants to just search on YouTube, Histories and Mysteries, or just my name, Sally Toole, and I got a Facebook page as well. We've been getting some good posts out lately at the cemeteries and the graveyards. We still haven't done, which I've got to do. We're going to put out one about how to get published if you're interested in getting published. There are still a few tricks to that and some ways, to go about getting yourself published and out there. We were also at a market days over here in Manchester selling books. We've got books for sale. Just check us out. We try to take you guys along with us to these. We had to walk through like a jungle of bamboo to get to this one cemetery.
Oh, man.
And to find the names. And I think it's interesting for people to know their history.
Right.
You could be watching one of my videos and all of a sudden there's a family name that you recognize.
Yeah.
And you never know. But when we were over there at Lone Oak, that was a huge graveyard attached to the church. And we found out about a Methodist reformer who went to China to be a missionary. He jumped out of the window because he was so overtaken by the Spirit of God. Who knew that story was going to be just on the side of the road?
Wow.
Stone in the ground. We found a story of a double murder in the little sleepy town of Lucas, Georgia.
What?
Stories just from two guys. Because you see, you look at these stones, and sometimes something jumps out at you. Particularly this one set of stones. Father and son both passed away on Christmas Eve. I believe it was 81.
Wow.
We're like, okay, they both died on Christmas Eve. Your first reaction is car accident.
Right.
You know, that's what just first comes to mind. But then we did the research, come to find out they were running their little store in Luthersville, Georgia, and completely unprovoked, two men pulled up in front with guns blazing, and the father and son were killed right on the spot. The mother played dead, and she survived, but they were killed on the same night. And so when you see these stones and something jumps out at you, you know, you look into the story, and there's usually a story behind those stones for sure.
A story behind the stones. I like
We
that.
saw one over there where the guy had like a Delta emblem and an Eastern Airline emblem. And come to find out, of course, he worked for both airlines, and he was a Braves fan and had a Braves, symbol. And
Right.
so the stones tell a story. When you walk through there, we're not being disrespectful. We're being curious.
There you go.
And we want to remember these people's lives and the stories. And, sometimes we don't find out much, and there's a lot of mystery there. And sometimes the stories just keep coming. And we even find pictures of people. You never know. Like I said, nowadays, with the internet, we can research this stuff. When I was in college, we had to sit in the library for
Oh, I know. Libraries for hours.
find
Yes.
one newspaper article.
Yes.
And now, and also with ancestry and things that people are doing their DNA and tracking their family histories, and that's all being recorded on the internet.
It definitely is. Well, I'll tell you what, Sally, as always, it's been a pleasure having you, and we'll get you back again in April and talk more histories and mysteries. Of course, follow Sally once again. We're going to let her out on good behavior and let her get back to sleep.
I'm always nervous.
Well, we definitely going to let you out on good behavior this morning. Now, next time we get you, you may not be let out. So we'll talk more. We'll be talking to you later as well, Sally. So make sure you guys follow her. Back in a moment. We'll close out the show in just a few. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You have a great day.
All right, talk to you next month. Take care. Tell your wife to be careful today.
I will. I definitely will.
Got you worried, I know.
Yeah, it is. I will.
But stubborn women. Gotta love them.
We do. I do.
Talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys.
The Steelworkers Organizing Committee, or SWAC, had been fighting to organize Little Steel for years. Little Steel was a general term that referred to the smaller mills like Republic, Inland, Bethlehem, and Foxtown.
We're going to close out and see you guys on the flip side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to head out the door. We appreciate you being with us on this morning hour. Stay tuned. Coming up, Sustainable Brown Girl. We'll follow that up with Raven in Real Life and then Connecting Hearts Radio Network at 11 a.m. It's going to be the best sports lineup in business from 12 to 2. Rod Peterson Show, 2 to 3. The Sports Beat with Richard Hoders, 3 to 5. Braves Country Radio Live. One more time. Which of these historic places would you like to visit? We are tied with the first three are tied. The Stanley Hotel, the Abbeville Horror House, and Winchester Mystery House tied at 28%, and 17% of you have already told us you'll go to Gettysburg. All right, tomorrow we'll have another great interview, another great opportunity, and another one for you guys to tune into. That's right. And we'll have another great poll question. The poll questions are helping out. Until we meet again, this is Ryan O'Neal saying peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. We're going to close out with some great programming on this early morning hour. It's Women History Month, celebrating women history.
Time for the WQEE 9.1 FM Community Calendar. The 13th Annual Sportsman's Raffle set for Saturday, July 27th from 3 to 5 p.m. will be $20 tickets, 110 chances for you to win grand prizes, $1,000 in cash, or even the big one, the GMC Sierra truck, presented by the Shriners Club. Tickets at Angie's Cleaners, 51 Aces Circle in New. Sergeant Baptist Church, they've got the big car show set for April 6th. Rain date is May 4th. Pre-registration is $20. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. 467 Sarge Main Street in Newton. Additional information, Buster Meadows, 404
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for our poll question.